Captain's Log, episode 116. This episode of the Beer Vengers podcast is sponsored by the Beer and Cheese Collective, located at 35-11 Ditmars Boulevard in Astoria, Queens. Now accepting applications for their Cheese of the Month Club, starting as low as $75 a month. Enjoy their eclectic array of craft beer, artisanal cheeses, and specialty grocery items at the Beer and Cheese Collective, home bar to yours truly, Captain Porter Brown Stout. On this 6-pour installment, Captain Huck and the Beer Wonder welcome back Dr. Bruce Beer Nerd, sometime the Incredulous Bulk, for the second episode in a row, as well as 2 more return guest Beer Vengers and fellow survivors of the 2026 Dayton Golden Mile, Belgian Babe and Cider Girl. There's not much more to say here, except that if you don't know about the Golden Mile, you should probably catch up by listening to episode 115. This is essentially a sequel to that episode. But if you want to just listen to this and figure it out on your own, hey, you do you. Remember to like, star, and subscribe whenever that feels appropriate. And send us your emails at thebeervengers@gmail.com if you have any questions, suggestions, or if you just like hearing us talk about you on the show. And now, without further ado, please enjoy episode 116, The Return of the Golden Mile 6.
Oh, we're the beer Vengers, beer Vengers, beer Vengers. We're the Beer Vengers.
Welcome to the Beercast, everyone. Coming to you from an undisclosed location in Astoria, Queens, this is Captain Porter Brown Stout.
And coming to you from an undisclosed location in the center of the Central Valley, this is the Pale Male Hophead Huck.
And coming to you from an undisclosed location in the County of Kings, well, it is I, the Beer Wonder.
From the secret basement lab in Dayton, Ohio, Dr. Bruce Beer Nerd, sometime the Incredulous Bulk.
Coming to you from Woodside, Queens, it is I, the Belgian Babe.
And coming to you from a secret location 2 rooms away from Hophead Huck, it is I, Cider Girl.
And we are...
Cheers.
Yeah.
Best one.
That's
yet.
right, we're the Revengers, you're the Revengers. In case you didn't get enough of the Golden Mile last episode, we've got more for you today and more guests. We're so excited to have the Incredulous Bulk back with us, as well as 2 more new guests, Belgian Babe and Cider Girl. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. And
And,
new, not new to the podcast, but new to today's recordings, you know.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, they've been frequent guests. I didn't do the same amount of research on you as I did on Dr. Beer Nerd, but how many episodes do you think either one of you has been on at this point?
7.
7?
Well,
you have no idea.
They may be competing with
number.
the Globe Hopper and the Doctor.
It's possible.
Coming
How
for my
is it possible,
title.
right? Fuck, I guess I need to update the spreadsheet. Yeah, because we established on the last episode that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is if you count last episode, this is Dr. Beer Nerd's 8th appearance.
Okay,
Mm.
this will be 8. So he's
Wow.
piling them up.
Pulling out in front.
Absolutely. Any case, it's wonderful to have you here. We want more perspective on people experiencing the Golden Mile and on just the wonderful experience we all had together. Man, with all of us here, should we get to the pours right now?
Yes, I think so.
I think we need to get that out of the way quickly.
Do you ever go to a party and you walk in like 2 hours late and everybody has had a couple drinks and you feel like you're well behind? I think that Belgian Babe and I definitely need to catch up.
Well, yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, you know,
Absolutely.
I'm going to say since Cider Girl was last on the intros, she gets to go first here.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, well, that just, I don't know, Beer Wonder, does that seem like the polite thing to do?
Beer Wonder is
Yes.
chewing.
I am chewing. And the answer is yes. And
He's
we're gonna
trying
get
to
some
have his
we're
lunch.
going to get some ASMR in this episode, too. So we can be relevant to the kids these days, you know, the children.
As you know, am cider girl, and so I have brought with me today a cider.
No way.
Nice.
I know, a shock to everyone. This is a pineapple cosmic crisp by Two Towns Cider House, which is a big. I don't want to give away a location, but in Fresno,
Yeah,
you
can
can
see
get
Fresno.
this all over the place. This is very popular here. I checked, and it is actually not from here. It's from Oregon. And funny story, totally sober, I read this Two Towns Cider House, Corvallis, comma, ORUSA. And for a second, I said, "Oh, it's either that town or just the United States." And then I
Generic America. That's kind of where we are.
I realized it meant
Yeah.
Oregon. Anywho, I'm going to pour it now. I'm sure it's going to be beautiful.
It
No
will.
doubt.
So-
Ooh, I smell apples
You got sound effects for yours.
and I smell pineapple.
Ooh.
Very good.
Oh, in a proper cider glass too.
And I am using an old school Doc's cider glass to hold my cider in.
Right on.
Very
Well,
good.
Certainly, the Belgian Babe is next on our list as a person to pour.
Alrighty.
Absolutely.
Well, I am not having an Ohio beer, but I do have Ohio props, and props to Ohio, I guess. So I have
Props.
our Yellow Springs coaster
Oh yeah.
and our Hop and Frog glass,
Oh,
which
okay.
says treat yourself to the good stuff. And so we shall.
Nice.
So-
As
Dude.
usual.
And being the Belgian babe, I have a Belgian style Tripel, always a Tripel. It is the
Indeed.
ever enjoyable Golden Monkey.
Nice.
Right on from our friends of
We
Victory.
also did establish that we've got like a couple subplots going on. We've got the Belgians, right? We've got the
Mhm.
cider. We got the cider sisters happening.
That's
There's
right.
there's a lot of subplots in the.
Well,
beer
that's something we
There's
also
the
didn't talk
door.
about in the previous episode. Yeah.
Yes.
We'll hold it up a
Oh,
little.
Hold
bit
it up a
further.
Yeah,
little
I
further. There you
realized
go.
it as I was doing it. Yep. Okay.
That is
There it is.
I've had a Golden Monkey. That is a nice beer.
Yep.
It's very pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, and it looks great in the glass. Yes.
I had the
It
choice
does.
of the regular or the tall boy, and you see
Yeah.
what I chose.
Yep.
So there you have it.
All right.
Right
Well,
on.
Doctor, even though you're on last week's episode, you're still a guest, so that means you go next.
All right,
Indeed.
I'm going way off the usual map with a Speckaloos cookie beer from Trader Joe's. Tasting notes say made with whole vanilla beans, milk, sugar, and toasted coconut.
Ah,
It seems like dessert time. Let's see how that holds up.
Straight out of left
Does that,
field
say,
with that one.
does,
I
that,
don't know why.
does that can actually say cookie batter beer?
Cookie butter. Cookie
Butter.
Cookie butter
Speckaloos
beer. Got
Cookie
it.
butter. As after
Nice.
Trader Joe's cookie butter in a jar, which is it's just a reference to a weird reference to a weird cookie.
Yeah,
So-
and butter is one of those esters that you're not supposed to taste.
I know.
It won't happen.
less than
Oh,
I
this tastes buttery. That's on
Really
purpose.
interested to see what this does.
Nice.
It looks nice. Got a nice head.
And potentially we can now see the logo of the World's End Brew Pub.
Oh,
on my
there you
glass.
go.
Ah, yes, I see.
Nice.
Yep.
Very good.
Gift from friends in Colorado.
Right on. Now, what do we do? Well,
That's
I went
tricky.
first last time, so of the three of us, it's only right.
And I
that
think
the-
Beer Wonder went last,
Beer-
I
so
think
Your Wonder
so.
should
We'll
go,
just
yeah.
reverse everything. Well, here's the thing. To the shock of everyone, I will be drinking a.
Sponsored?
try to
What are
sponsor
those?
pour from the Beer and Cheese Collective, 35-11 Ditmars Boulevard in Astoria, Queens.
Sponsored
And, you know,
for
we talked about all these subplots that are happening now in the world of Beerland, and mine actually connects nicely with our subplots. I've got a beer called Devil You Know. It is an IPA, and it is part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
No way.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. It's based on for Marvel Television. Daredevil Born Again is what's the graphic on the can. So it felt appropriate. It's from our friends though at KCBC. So
Oh,
not
no
quite
kidding.
Trader Joe's.
You know,
So
only
close.
Trader Joe's is Trader Joe's. It's
I
true.
know, you know.
Yeah.
Only,
I
only
have a
some,
Trader
on-
Joe's beer in the cellar.
Only some
No,
can
that's
really reach
another
that glory.
topic.
So let's see how
Nice
this
crack.
one. Thank you. How this one stacks up in our universe.
Is the brewery in or near Hell's Kitchen? Is it that thematic?
No, it's in
No,
Brooklyn.
It's in Brooklyn. So it's got the New York cred, but
They often have superhero
yep.
themed
So,
beers, so
Clear
it
that
makes
which
sense
makes sense why they would have lined up with the Marvel Cinematic Universe for this one.
to a tie-in.
Nice.
So, yep. But ready for an American IPA for America.
All right.
Now, this one is not General USA. This is Brooklyn USA.
America.
All right. Well, since so many of you, I actually drove to and from the Golden Mile, but many
That's
of
true.
you
Very well, I will
took
say.
plane. Thank you. Many of you took planes to get where we were, and there was frequently during the day when we were worried if we were going to get food at the various places. Belgian Babe kept talking about how she had taken a specific souvenir from the airline that she thought might be something that would tide her over. So I brought from Duclaw, from their Pastryarchy series, airplane cookie.
Oh no!
That is the same cookie.
It
It is.
remarkably
It's
similar.
It is
basically
the-
the
Yeah,
same
that's
beer.
the one. Yep.
This is rare that I do this twice in 2 back-to-back episodes, but this is another Imperial Brown
Oh,
at
my goodness.
8.5%.
Wow.
I have a question. Is there nutmeg
Yeah.
in there?
Not that I'm aware of.
We're
Okay.
gonna find out.
Mm.
Here we go. It is the Pastryarchy, so it possibly could be.
It doesn't
pretty
say on the
poor.
label, but I wouldn't put it past them.
Nice dark color.
Yeah.
You know, those free
Another
cookies
brown.
on the airplane can really rescue you on a 12-hour crawl.
Absolutely.
Truth. You know, when you're being harassed by a random person at the 11th stop, a cookie just makes everything better.
Absolutely.
Well,
All right, what do you got, Huck?
I turned down every cookie that was offered because I had to have a root canal. But that's neither here nor there. Very exciting. You know, I love collaboration beers, but I also love anniversary beers. And right here in Clovis, we have our brewery Crow and Wolf, and this is called Five. It says V there, but Five. It is a West Coast Dipper, a double
Nice.
IPA, and this is so rare for me personally because I only have a certain amount of glassware, proper glassware.
What? Amazing.
So let's get it going. Oh, that got Teddy going.
Yes.
That got the growler going. Yes, I did steal this. Don't tell the folks at Crow and Wolf
Awkward.
because I really appreciate what they do.
I
And
don't
they
know.
make really nice IPAs, so I expect this to be good. It looks nice, Westy style, very clear, and a nice full head. The Five on their 5th anniversary. So congrats to
Nice.
Crow and Wolf on 5 great years, almost as many years as we've had in Fresno, which is 4.
All right.
So just a year
All right,
older
well,
than us.
Here we
Oh,
are.
I didn't do the thing.
Oh, yes. Do the thing. Show the
Lovely.
thing. Do the what's a. All right. And cheers, Vengers.
Cheers,
Cheers.
Vanderbilt, indeed. Sometimes my favorite part of the show with that silent moment where we all sip our beers.
Yes. Yeah, I never edit any of that out. I think it's essential.
Mm.
This is quite an American IPA. I'm feeling all the challenges and bitterness and sweetness that comes with our dear country, and I'll leave it at that.
Oh, that's
All
great.
right.
I feel the same. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, I
This
mean
is
it's
dank.
interesting. Yeah, we're talking
go ahead.
about all the various subsections of our Beer Vengers Drinkomatic universe, whatever we want to call it, and about how because you mentioned the Cider Sisters, and we
Yes.
talked about how the various segments of us. And it's funny, and now we're gonna have. I realized that we mentioned on the last one that Doctor's wife. Kate is now known as the Saison Witch, and I was thinking, oh, we never had a Saison. And then I remembered the Saison Kid, one of our very first Beer Avengers. Never been on the show. Doesn't like getting our emails anymore.
Oh, good point.
But
I forgot
yeah.
about the Saison Kid.
Yeah, some people just find them overwhelming. I don't
Oh,
think
we
he,
have the
he
Saison
meant that as a
Kid.
personal thing.
We
He just
have
said,
the Saison Strong. Now we have the Saison
Who's the-
Witch and also Saison.
Saison,
all
yes.
right.
So that's that with the Saison Kid. That's I'm lost count now. Is that 4 or 5?
I don't know, but yeah, the way the whole because now that we have the Daredevil beer, since that was so much okay, so we have the Avengers and then we have the Defenders, and so I guess we're breaking up into sects as well, but all together we're still all the Beer Avengers.
Oh,
So,
heck yes.
yeah.
Oh, very good.
It's funny. This one, I mean, it's funny when I think about those cookies. Those cookies are always good for like, and generally speaking, when I'm on an airplane and I'm offered the pretzels or the cookies, I almost always take the cookies. And they're tasty. They're good. Nice little biscotti thing. But they are a fairly subtle flavor, and so subtle that it just kind of tastes to me like a traditional imperial brown. The more I drink it, maybe I'll get a little more in there, but that is in no means a bad thing because I love imperial browns. It's got that nice little flavor to it. It's really good.
It's super pretty anyway.
You know, when you're taking flavors into a beer that are naturally somewhat subtle, sort of two choices you can take. And one is to let them be subtle and just sort of be a foil to the beer. And the other one is to make them really scream cookie.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Which
I prefer option one.
This is what this is doing. It is.
I see.
I said I wanted dessert. I got it.
You're getting it.
Quite vanilla, quite coconut.
All right.
How about the butter?
No buttery, no buttery ester. So we don't have that
Good.
fault thing. But there's a. I wonder what the ABV is on this. 9.5. Yeah, there is a little bit of a slightly English barley wine that alcoholic, but also resinous. Not pine resin, but the texture is in there. So,
a few months back,
mouthfeel, if you will.
I also I don't remember which one it was, but I also had a beer that was based on a Trader Joe staple, and it was based on the peanut butter cups. I guess they have some like dark chocolate peanut butter cups that they sell at Trader Joe's, and it was based on that. And similarly, totally different brewery, but they went a little hard on the peanut butter.
Yeah, it's a thing.
All right, what else we got?
Cider Girl, you enjoying the pineapple?
Yeah. So, I'm reminded as I'm drinking this Two Towns Cider House cider that one of the reasons it's very popular here in Fresno is the kids get it out at the clubs because it is 8%. And often ciders are more in the 5 percentile area, maybe 6. So having an 8% is you get your money's worth in a big tall can. I can actually tell that there is a higher alcohol content in this than the more traditional ciders that I drink. Not that that's a bad thing, just that I can tell. And this is a pineapple. And what I will say for this one, I've had probably 5 or 6 different versions of pineapple cider, and it can get very sweet. It can taste nicely like pineapple. This one is more subtle. So the two of you were just talking about that sort of the variation of additives, and it does taste like cider, and then you go, oh, pineapple, and that's sort of nice. It's refreshing. It adds a refreshing touch. But the first thing I thought was, oh, alcohol.
So really, it jumps out like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of high ABV, how is that Golden Monkey Belgian baby?
Doing just fine. I also think, oh, alcohol. No, it the nice thing is it has like a nice it's on the edge of a syrupiness, but not cloying. I've had other Belgians that are really, a bit heavy in that regard. So I like that. I just noticed on the can, this is going to have the mystical flavors to enlighten you. So I'm looking forward to enlightenment in a little while. And I did notice that it is made in Downington Pa. So if anyone wants to visit there.
Right on.
But
we did in Cleveland last week. We visited a Southern Tier brewery, which had Victory beers in it. So I don't know if we had. We missed we missed our chance to get a Golden Monkey, but that was our last stop. So
now this does sort of speak to the idea of, do we jump right in to the sequel or do we start with the prequel? Meaning, Do we go to the
Ooh.
sequel being jumping right into your experiences with the Golden Mile, or do we talk about the experiences that four of us had just before the Golden Mile in Cleveland?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're still on the description of our.
Oh yes,
original
I'm sorry. I wasn't
brews.
trying to rush through that.
We
Tell
haven't
us
heard
about.
Did we hear from the beer wonder on this?
Mine was simple, sweet, American, sweet and bitter, just like our dear country.
Oh, that's right. You did say that. Well, I will say on the 5, I love anniversary beers, and I'm really happy for Crow and Wolf, even though they are making their living on the. I don't know if I said this. There's a seltzer, a pastry seltzer they make that was called Dark Horse, so popular in Fresno, to the point that they decided to change the name. Now, if you're going to change the name of the most popular drink, it's got to be really popular. And they changed it to the Dark Wolf, so they could tie it back to the their brew, their brew,
Right.
The Dark Wolf. But I got to say, they make excellent IPAs, and this is no exception. Very nice, a double, and it doesn't really read as such. It's very smooth for 8%, and again, congrats to Crow and Wolf. Great stuff. I'm glad to be able to present them here on the Beercast. So now
nice.
I think we've all covered our beers, so we can get back to our wonderful trip that we took to Ohio. We did talk about it last week a lot, but there's a lot we didn't cover on the Golden Mile.
I would love, since everybody has, I assume, just listened to this wonderful podcast about,
Naturally.
how this all started and your experiences. I feel like we should jump in with what it was like from the lady point of view, since.
Let's do that then. Yeah.
All right.
So I will say, as cider girl, going on a 12-hour beer crawl, did make me wonder where I would fit in, would everywhere have a, cider? What would I do? And I do appreciate that the Incredulous Bulk made sure he actually looked into all the places we went and was looking out for me and like, oh, if they don't have a cider, they'll have a seltzer, and I really appreciate that tour guidingness of it. And so almost everywhere we went, I found something that I could enjoy to drink. So that was really exciting. I had at the first stop a lovely berry-infused cider. And I think I'm going to do a sidebar about this. So those of you who know me know that I've ordered cider just about everywhere in the world. And the responses I get from the bartenders always crack me up. One thing that stands out, there was in Atlantic City, we went to a casino and they had a cider on tap. And I was so excited to see it. And so I went, oh, what kind of cider is that? And she said, oh, no, that's not cider, that's beer. And I said, well, the one with the apple-shaped, dispenser, what is that one there? Oh, that's Angry Orchard, the beer. And I was like, oh, okay, well, does it say on there that it has a flavor or a style? And she just looked at me and she went, beer. And so I said, I'll have that beer, please. Thank you. And it was just the standard Angry Orchard, which that's all I was asking about, So over time, we've had little jokes about that. And so the very first place right out of the gate, I saw on the menu, it said cider, blackberry. And so, of course, I said, oh, I'll have the blackberry. And then she said, well, it comes in 2 flavors. It comes in apple flavor or berry flavor.
Oh, no.
And I was like, well, it's a cider. I'll have the berry. I didn't have it in my heart to go, well, actually, ciders are ciders because they're made with apples. I didn't have it in me. So I just was like, I'll have the berry one.
Yes, I'll have the blackberry.
Very kind of you.
And I just feel bad that that poor staff member is going around telling everyone that the berry one doesn't have apples in it. But anyway, it was very nice, very berry forward. So in her defense, it was hard to taste the apple in that one. And then we went to another place, and I had another one, and then we went to another place. And this is when I had like a flashback to my youth. We went to the Dublin pub.
Yeah.
And question mark, is that the right name? And they
It
had
is.
the Strongbow cider. And those of you listening out there, if you haven't had a Strongbow cider, stop what you're doing and go have one. I am not sponsored by them, though God knows I should be at this point. It is delicious, and it's one of the first ciders I ever had, and it's why I love cider so much. It was perfect, on point, correctly cold, correct in every way, a proper pint of a British cider. And it brought my love back, like, I love you, cider. I think I said out loud several times that day. And so that was the one I drank the whole thing, and it was exhilarating. And then we went to other places, and I started to be too full. I don't know how you all drank that much, because my
Yeah.
belly,
That happens to me sometimes. Yeah.
I was like
I also
shoving.
don't know.
It was like shoving liquids in there. So at some point I had to switch to rum and cokes, because there just wasn't any room for any more heavy bodied beverages. But my big takeaway from the night was at about the 11th place, I said, my feet are sore.
Mm.
Because I knew, like, we might all get tipsy. I knew there might be crazy things that happened, but I didn't think about how we'd be walking, for that long of a period of time. And I was like, wow, this is a toll on our feet. Bless us for making it through all of
Bless
that, right? So those are some of my thoughts of the great.
Which of all of those things you had do you think was your favorite one? Do you know?
Well, it was Strongbow, hands down.
Strongbow, yeah.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
Followed,
Well,
by a delightful rum and coke I had at the end of the night.
what were some of your highlights, Belgian Babe?
Well, I know we're here to talk about beer, but I would be remiss if I did not give a shout out to Fifth Street's biscuits and gravy. I did not grow up having biscuits and gravy, so it's not something I tend to order off the menu, but I thought, well, we're in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
I need to have a nice, strong foundation. So I got the biscuits and gravy with over easy egg on top. And my goodness, that was just really delicious. So yeah, they were really a beautiful sausage gravy and a really great foundation for the day, or so I thought, but more on that later.
I agree.
I
Great
think for me, the highlights, or lowlights, if you will, include just learning the pacing. And I tried, at one point I got a glass of water instead of a beer, but you do have to remember it's a marathon and not a sprint, and so strategize accordingly. And I look forward to future miles and doing that. But I enjoyed, starting at Fifth Street with the Kappa Lobster, which I had to order just so I could say
hold
that
on.
my native Massachusetts.
Yeah, if I could interrupt. For everyone else
Yes,
out there,
please.
it is a copper lobster. I wanted to translate.
This is true. It was a lovely red ale, and that was great.
Belgian Babe and Hophead Huck are from Massachusetts, and so that does come out sometimes.
Yes, it does. It does. And it just had to be ordered.
You know what? The locals say it that way too because it is fun, and we all.
Oh, yeah.
Kappa Lobster.
That
It is
was
fun.
up stuff. So, and I will say that while I am the Belgian Babe, and I am clearly a fan of the Belgians and also the porters and stouts like the Captain, I kind of, looking back over my list today, did sort of venture all over the place. And so for me, I had the Black Candle at Branch and Bone, which was delightful and dark, but I enjoyed, and I think if I had to pick one, which luckily I don't, that was a favorite, the Ohio Weizen at Little Fish was just a great Belgian-y taste. And but there were a couple of others also at the Dublin, sitting next to Cider Girl, listening to her cheer on her strongbow. I had the blueberry lemon shandy, and that was really delightful and really different. And would be nice on a lovely hot summer day, as would the Yellow Cab raspberry beret. It was really nice, and I think they let me try a taste of that, or I tried a taste of somebody's first, because I mean it's probably my favorite Prince song, so that's why my eye was drawn to it. But it followed through by being a really delightful beer as well. So my only wish is that I had sort of maybe had another helping of biscuits and gravy around 6 or 7 o'clock to kind of get me through the end, because the ending of the night is a bit of a blur. So. Anyway.
And shout out to that server at 5th Street.
Oh my gosh.
She was the only person. There was a bartender, but she was the only server. And it was brunch. Everyone was eating food. And she didn't get stressed at all. I was like, I'd be losing my mind.
She was great. Yeah.
She carried 2 or 3 pint glasses in one hand at one point coming back to the table. And it was just like, that is impressive.
Yeah.
Really
I don't know the woman's name, but she killed it. Patrick, if you see her again, tell her.
I will definitely let her know. Megan is fabulous, and also the author of the 5th Street Current Cocktail Program.
Oh, no kidding.
I'm glad
Wow.
I didn't ask anyone to taste any of them, but there's some lovely stuff on just now, because that was not the day to do it.
No.
Especially at noon.
At noon, right.
Let's start off with a Prohibition-style rye cocktail.
I will say another highlight was presenting the Incredulous Bulk with his Beer Avenger uniform and the naming of the Saison Witch. That was a lovely moment as well.
And yeah, we touched on this a little bit in last episode. It does bear more discussion. So the night before the Golden Mile, the Incredulous Bulk invited us all to the Carillon Brewing Company. We talked a little bit before.
Cool.
Well, all we really said was how old it was, because we're looking up the various things. But yeah, let's talk about that experience a little bit.
Oh, very unique.
Well, it was also wonderful to meet the Saison Witch and really get to hang out with her. We share so much in common. It was wonderful to get a new Beer Avenger in the group, as it were. And they had a local or made right there sarsaparilla.
Oh, yeah.
So I ordered that,
great.
Feeling like I was in an old timey cartoon. I had the sarsaparilla with some vodka. It was very good.
Yeah, really shout out to the
barbecue.
Yeah.
Purveyors there. That was like some southern barbecue that was very, very good. I had brisket that was just, and I think the Beer Wonder as well had it. Incredibly good and great sides. And when I used to get sides and at a barbecue place, I get some collard greens, and I generally wouldn't finish them. I was devouring those collard greens. Excellent food.
They were great
at Carillon.
And talking about the traditional styles, and the most unique one, I think there was a beet beer, and I think you got that,
Yes, a couple of us tried
Doctor.
that.
Yeah.
I do. I love Beat of My Heart. It's so much fun, and also a very complex and kind of unexpected flavor. From beets add some sweetness, but also that sort of savory, earthy note. But in beer, it isn't the same as, say, just eating roasted beets, which I believe it's 50 pounds per batch they proudly put on the menu. So.
That's right.
I was glad they had flights available, because I did want to try the beet beer as well as others, and so it was a nice sampling. And again, another server that was great. He was, a lot of personality and very friendly. And I will say that it has nothing to do with beer, but it's very nice that pretty much wherever we went, we were asked. We didn't have to ask. They would ask us, "How would you like us to split the checks?"
Oh yeah.
As opposed to, as us asking, can you split the checks? So I thought that was kind of a nice, I don't know if that's a Midwestern-y thing, but it was, or an Ohio thing, but it was appreciated.
Yeah.
So, a lot of kindness and hospitality.
And I've noticed, I've been to Ohio a few times, and that's one of the things that I've noticed about the people in Ohio. Super friendly people.
Yeah.
And, every server we had besides the one place, but everywhere was great folks.
We did have one place. They seemed to. They weren't expecting 30 people to walk in, and they were kind of crowded. They were having a rush. But
it was all my fault.
No, but it just happened, and it's a great place, and we're not going to say which one it was, but we all have reassessed our situation of that place, and they're really great. So yeah, it was just the circumstances.
Yeah, every spot we went was
it's all in the timing. Yeah.
True dat.
Now we ate a lot of truly exceptional food here, but there was one very special item that we all indulged on in the last night, and it was the one time. Now, Cider Girl has brought many things to our lives here at the Beer Venture Sphere: rum and cokes, slushy beverages, ciders, and of course wine. And so this was something where we had an impromptu wine pairing with this item that was partially prompted by Cider Girl. It was a delightful wine that I believe was appropriate based on our last learnings with you, correct?
Yes. We had wine.
I don't remember this.
We drank so much. No, anyone listening, I'm sorry I said it that way. We had a lot of opportunities over a long week to try different things to drink. And this was a sort of end of our trip celebratory moment. And we didn't want to go to bed. We wanted to stay up later.
We're all going our separate ways the next morning.
Yeah. So Glenn what? Huh? I just said crazy words. Go ahead. Yes.
No, but I thought the wine was a beautiful pairing for our delightful other nibble that was very local.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I felt like we deserved something sweet, and then also to have a little wine with it. And so we did have a wine that was from Italy, which was, you're right, Beer Wonder, the last time I was on this show, we were talking about all the wonderful wines. So we had another wonderful Italian wine. But what was most important was that it was paired with a delicious brownie that is unique. One sip of drink in my mind is rotten. Anyway, tell us about it.
We've revealed.
So we talked a little bit on the last show. We mentioned we had the Killer Brownie is what we're talking about. Yeah. Killer Brownie is something specific. It was invented at Dorothy Lane Market. It's strange that it has a sort of personal connection to me, even though I didn't grow up with it, because every time I would go back to Ohio, my mother would have it all. And so there's a notion we should get something sweet. We're walking up and down the Oregon District. It's not really the best place for that. And I said, you know what? I'll just go pick up a couple of Killer Brownies. And so went out, got a couple of those. It's funny. My personal story with the Killer Brownie is a little what I said last time about how it was something my mother would always bring out. Both of my parents' funerals when I was there, they seemed to keep showing up. And when I was in Dayton in 2023, which is actually the last time the book was on the show, after my dad's funeral, I got back to New York, and the Killer Brownies had followed me to New York. Because I literally went to my job at the Statue of Liberty, and now they're selling Killer Brownies there. Because apparently it got so popular at Dorothy Lane Market, which is this place that, actually you helped tell me you taught me part of this story, is that they were so popular they had to form their own company so other supermarkets would sell what they have.
Yes, in particular, a very large one headquartered in Cincinnati. Could not bear a different grocery store's name on their shelf.
So even though Killer Brownie is still probably owned by Dorothy Lane Market, they are their own company called the Killer Brownie Company.
Yes.
And and if you go to their website, you can find where it is. If the city you're in has it, I mentioned the last one, you can find it in some ShopRites. You can find it in Morton Williams, but that's just New York. And according to the last statistics I look at, people are here from a lot of other places from that. I don't know if you can find it in Vietnam. Apparently, we have a lot of people there.
Aliens can probably find it.
Yes, and the aliens can definitely find it because based on the X-Files I've been rewatching lately, we might all be aliens.
Oh,
Wow.
I wish I could find some comfort in that. But
I know. I was trying.
what I will say is comforting is a nice Chianti with a
Mhm.
killer brownie.
There you go.
I would agree.
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah. Good
Now
pairing.
it struck me as we were talking about this that the brownies were actually a nice bookend to the way we started in Dayton with the fudge that Cider Girl
Oh, yes.
provided from
tasty.
Bucky's. Is that where it was from? Yeah. And it was sort of sweet in, sweet out. And it was just,
I just want to
You
be
know?
clear that like Bucky's is a really hyper local, like very only can find it
Real mom
on
and pop
on
story,
the
yeah.
drive between Cleveland and Dayton, right? Right,
And that's the only one, yeah.
So, for those of you who know what a Buc-ee's is, you know that Beer Wonder is pulling your leg. It is a popular truck stop, for lack of a better word, chain that you can go to, but it's famous for the best bathrooms in town and all sorts of cool food choices and
I
cool
hear they have an entire
merchandise.
jerky wall.
They have a wall
That's what I
and
heard.
a counter where you can get it bagged, and you can also just point at it and get a whole big slab of it, which is to me gross. But
okay.
what
I'm
glad you
really
got the fudge instead.
so
I'm
glad
glad you
I
got
did
the
not
fudge,
take a
yeah.
sip of my beer just then because the timing would have been really bad.
but they also have a giant thing of fudge and other sweets and whatnot, and you could pick whatever you wanted. And there was a special: if you got 4, you got 2 pieces for free. So I thought, since I was going to go see everyone, we should get that special. But we were joking. However, this is the only Buc-ee's in Ohio, and it
Yeah.
had just opened. So it was a big
Oh, wow.
deal, and the parking
The
lot
fresh
was
Buc-ee's.
yeah, it was very fresh. The parking lot was filled, and people were taking pictures in front of the Bucky statues and the whole thing. So we surely
Yeah,
got
we got a picture with the mascot.
we sure did.
right.
So we got our Bucky's introduction in a big bang. It was our
Got
first
your Buc-ee's
Bucky's.
on. All right.
And
Y'all,
so
y'all get
yeah,
some beaver nuggets?
we were given them as a
Tasted 'em.
taster. We got to
Yeah.
try them for free. I opted for the fudge instead.
Yeah.
We did
I
buy
think you made the right call.
We collect kitchen towels, so we have a
It
kitchen
was-
towel.
they
a
were
Beaver
good.
Nuggets kitchen towel now. So
The fudge was good. I enjoyed the birthday cake varietal
Yeah, that was a
Mhm.
good one. Yeah.
paired with
So
in
that's
my
a
case,
little
some
bit
coffee.
that's a little bit of the pregame of the story, right? Because Hop and I flew in to Cleveland and then did some things and then drove down to meet up with those who hadn't come into Cleveland.
such a journey.
Was.
3 hours to Dayton.
It was really interesting to start in Cleveland and experience all of that. We had a great time. We had, Captain Porter join us. And then, as I said, we made our way down, and what a cultural difference between Cleveland and Dayton. And not because they're, a big city and a smaller city, but it really is. Dayton touches the South, and Cleveland
Yes.
very much doesn't. So you actually, as you drive down towards Dayton, you hear the voices change. So we're used to the sort of fast, clipped pace city talk. And then halfway through the trip, we stopped at a gas station, and people were like, "Well, we're going to get our gas here," and I was like, "Uh-oh, have we made a wrong turn?" But no, we hadn't. We were just driving closer and closer to the south. So very interesting, all contained in one state.
Yes, it is unique that way there, and that's because, of course, Dayton is like an hour from Cincinnati, which is essentially Kentucky. I mean, in the sense that it's on the Kentucky border,
Yep.
and the Cincinnati airport is in Kentucky.
All the
went to
Cincinnatians and Kentuckians are going to come for you now. You know that.
Well, we went to a few years ago. We went to Indianapolis for a zoo conference, and we went and took a drive to the Cincinnati Zoo, enjoyed it, and then they were like, "There's also this aquarium we can go to in Kentucky." Like, oh, okay, we'll go to this Kentucky aquarium, the Newport Aquarium, I believe it's called,
Yeah.
and it was in Kentucky, but literally from the windows of the aquarium, you could see the Cincinnati Reds stadium. It was like
wow.
literally just across the river. So we learned a bit about the geography there. Yeah. Like Kentucky.
Yeah,
and Ohio
doctor.
quite
What
tied
part
in.
of what I doctor? What part of what when I say I'm just saying it's on the border, did I phrase that wrong? Is my third beer
practically in was the that's the contention people are going
okay?
gonna
I
come
will.
to
I
you
will.
You
I
said
will
they're
choose my words
Kentuckians, yeah.
carefully.
because there's I mean Dayton is it's a Rust Belt town amongst other things. Used to have a huge manufacturing center, and like most of the Midwest, now it doesn't. But there was a giant migration from Appalachia to work in the factories when they had there was a heyday, and the nickname for the holiday weekends was the Appalachian 500, when everybody from Dayton would go home to the south and then come back for Monday morning. So that's where our
Oh.
dialect comes from, is that confluence of influences combined with this kind of neutrality that sounds like television.
You're so
Yeah.
smart.
We were trying to when we were
Well,
in
he's the
Cleveland, we were trying to nail down the accent, and it was hard to like. It's like as actors, like a bunch of us are actors, that we used to like learn the standard American way to
Yeah.
speak,
Right.
and that's kind of like what it
Really
sounded
close.
like to me in Cleveland. Yeah.
Do not close your dentals. That's a big trick for the particular Miami Valley dialect. Dayton, don't close the T, and pluralizing anything that may conceivably have been a name. So
Oh.
we go to Walmart's. It's either a plural. It's probably a possessive because it's probably a descendant of
Right.
like the proprietor's store.
Yes.
But yeah, that's a big telltale.
Oh wow.
Is there
That is
any?
one thing I hadn't noticed. Yeah.
Is there anything else about the mile that we wanted to talk about, or do we want to talk a little bit more about what it was like in Cleveland and what we did there?
I mean, I would love to hear about Cleveland. I have one thing I want to mention about the mile, but I think that's a little later. So
We
Okay.
missed the first thing about Cleveland is that we missed the beer wonder very much.
well,
Yes.
I missed you all too. I was
And the
thankfully
Belgian
you
babe.
three- and the Belgian babe. Yes,
Oh.
the Belgian babe got to see a little bit of it.
I mean, she got to see a little
Definitely.
Cleveland. We can talk about that too, about our
Yeah.
brief Cleveland experience before we went south.
Yes.
But
That's
we
right.
did go to Cleveland originally, and we did 2 beer crawls in Cleveland. And
Little
we
ones.
We were joined
Yeah, no
by
12-hour ones.
one of our, we talk about our workplace a lot at Unboxed, and one of our former coworkers joined us with his lovely wife and introduced us to Noble Beast Brewing and Masthead Brewing, and that was basically our first night. And we were
And
like,
a little
"Oh, we
time to
should-"
Southern Tier.
We did go to Southern Tier / Victory / 6 Point, and we we were like, oh, we got to give you guys Beer Venger names because you're Beer Venging with us now. And our friend
Sam.
Sam, thank you. He was like, give me a day. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. I'll meet you at the other place. Give me a day to come up with a name. He was serious. He wasn't like, it wasn't going to be like, some people were like, I don't need a name, He was like, no, I got you. I'm going to come up with it. I need a day. And the next day when we met up with him, we were at another place in Cleveland called Forest City Brewing, which, wow. First of all, let me say, if we showed up at Forest City Brewing, and this was actually the last stop on our second night crawl at Forest City. There was a 20-piece jazz orchestra playing swing music, and
Nice.
the room was filled with people dancing. I'm like, this is a Wednesday night in Cleveland. I was very impressed that this was happening. But then at some point in the night, he says, "Oh, I've got it. I am Short Pour, the ale bard."
And he had a
Short
whole
Pour, great name.
backstory for it.
He had a
About-
backstory.
Yeah.
Please.
No, just that, Short Poor had been a musician, but was having trouble making the grade, and was tended to enjoy ale too much, and because his stature might not have been as tall as some of the other beer vengers, blah blah blah. It was very cute.
He actually said, "I'm 5'8", so I'm like, "That's short."
Yeah.
I know short people. 5'8" is not short.
I respect this so much. Just totally.
But as the ale bard, he is actually a classical musician who plays
Very cool,
violin, and he's
that is cool.
he's in a couple orchestras, and he's also plays ska music with his band. So he's a real musician, and so I just love that name, Short Poor, the ale bard.
Yes.
And we have been talking about food too, right? So one of the specialties, for lack of a better word, in Cleveland is pierogies. So I love pierogies. We don't get them a lot in California, so I was very excited and tried them everywhere. And at that stop, they had really delicious pierogies. So in addition to the swing band and lovely beverages, there also was, really fun nibbles to have as well. And, that just makes a night perfect.
Oh, we went to killer breweries. I mean, the first night, like I said, was I already mentioned them. Second night was we went to Mosaic Brewing, which was a new place, excellent. Also went to Great Lakes, which is more of a classic. Pat, as you know, Great Lakes Brewing, and we went to Market Garden Brewing.
I had a wonderful mocha blackout stout at Great Lakes, which was good, even if the service was a little overwhelmed there.
We did have a little issue with the service.
Yeah,
I do remember there was a bartender, even though we didn't get a lot of action. Back to Massachusetts, Lynn. This woman, she turned to one of the customers and says, "You want another porter?" Like that. I was like, "What? Wait a minute, where are we?"
I'm back home.
Yeah, Michael goes, "My people."
That's right. That's right.
And then, of course, Forest City. So we hit great breweries in Cleveland. It was a great time.
We had a lot of stuff, and then go ahead.
I had a really nice cherry seltzer at Mosaic, and I will say, sometimes Cider Girl has to get desperate and try seltzers, and of late they've all been very sugary. Like somebody's like, "Oh, people want sugar," and so they just do this and then add alcohol, and that's what the seltzer is. And this one wasn't that, and it really tasted beautifully of cherry, and it was delightful. And the bartender said, "Would you want me to put it on ice, to cut it?" And so I said yes. Take their advice always, right? But it really didn't need it. It was really, really great. So it was nice to see someone making a seltzer in-house that didn't include, a Kool-Aid's worth of sugar in it.
Like the Dark Wolf, which is popular here,
Yeah.
And I know you guys spent another day in Cleveland, but the next morning I picked up Belgian Babe from the airport, and we went to a place that she had been wanting to go to for quite a long time in Cleveland, and talk about that a little bit.
Well, friends of mine got married about, 12 or 13 years ago in Cleveland. And in our hotel, there were flyers for the Christmas Story house, which is where they filmed a lot of the exteriors and a couple of the interiors for the classic movie A Christmas Story, which my family quite enjoys and quotes to each other. And my dad's a big fan in particular. So I had wanted to go, but I was at the wedding with a couple of other gals, and they wanted to go get brunch on Sunday morning. And, Ubers and Lyfts weren't as ubiquitous as they are now. So instead of saying, "You know what, I'll just meet you at the airport," I let it go. So I've been wanting to go for a long time, and thank you, Captain, for bringing me there. And we had a really great time. And I found out that there were more scenes filmed there than I thought. And they have a museum with costume pieces and script pages. And one of my favorite actors is Lois Nettleton, who was the third wife of Gene Shepherd, who wrote the stories. And so they actually even had postcards that the two of them had exchanged, which was something that was really unique.
Wow.
So that was great. And then we also went to lunch, back to the Ohio delicious specific food. We went to the Raleigh Inn, which is right across, diagonally across the street from the house, where Darren McGavin evidently used to go and hang with the locals after a day's filming, as you do. And I got the Clevelander burger, which was a burger patty with, okay, the kielbasa was supposed to be on it. I was worried it was too spicy. I had them put it on the side. But anyway, and a pierogi on it, cider girl, and Cleveland kraut, Munster cheese, and beer cheese, and stadium mustard. So there was a lot going on there. I mean,
Golly.
I ate it with a knife and a fork because I just didn't feel like wearing it. Because if I picked that sucker up, it was going to drip. So we had a ball, and I very much appreciated that. But yeah, good times.
Yeah, but we had a really nice time at Rally's. I had some kind of, I forget what it was. I looking on Untappd. It was some kind of one of those like golden stout.
Albino something or other, wasn't it?
From something and Butcher or Butcher and something.
Yeah, it was some kind of albino blonde stout.
Yes, I need to look on Untappd and figure
Coffee,
out
albino coffee stout.
Butcher and the
Butcher and
Brewer.
Baker.
Butcher and Baker.
I
Brewer.
think that's the
And candlestick
you know what?
maker.
I've got to look it up here because I know I clocked it in, even though I didn't do almost half of the ones for the Golden Mile because I'm fancy that way. Let's see here. I'm gonna. It's Butcher and
And the Brewer.
Butcher and the Brewer, maybe.
Well, I mean, that was a
That
brew
sounds
pub that was
right.
on our list to go
Right.
to in
that might have
Cleveland,
been
and we
it
didn't
then,
make it.
because
No.
we were in Cleveland. It was the Butcher and the. Oh, by the way, the one I didn't mention before, Otto, which is a great imperial stout I had at the Troll Pube, which we didn't actually talk about the Troll Pube.
Oh, no, we didn't.
Troll Pube that much.
That's
but-
right. I got water.
Look at their sign. It's Troll Pube. Sonder, I had a wonderful imperial stout from Sonder Brewing, which is in Mason, Ohio. It was albino stout. Butcher and the Brewer. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Oh,
It's a 5.4% albino stout, really good. And then we drove down and had a lovely evening with the doctor and the Saison Witch.
That's right.
At their
But yeah, it was
home.
funny. I talked on the last episode a little bit about how my various conflicting feelings about going back to Dayton, and what was kind of cool about it. I wasn't conflicted about going there. What I mean is my conflicting feelings as someone who grew up there, who couldn't wait to get out of there, and the various reasons. This is a wonderful reason to go back there. People. Dayton has many self-deprecating things like, why would you come here? And I even like even a mutual friend of some of ours recently saw one person show she did, and she said Ohio is a wonderful place to leave, and I laughed very hard at that myself. To be fair, she also got tired of New York as well, so take that with whatever grain of salt you need to. But the Golden Mile is a wonderful reason to go back there. I was thinking about how I've experienced it the various times I've been there. The first time I was there, it was the week of my mother's funeral. It was the day after the funeral, and Belgian Babe and I went on about half of it. And it was at one point I felt weird, like, should I go on this when all this is happening? I'm like, my mother just died. I can do whatever the fuck I want. So, I still kept checking in with the family over the course of the day, and we did half of it. Then we had dinner with the family, and then I thought, like, I'm gonna do this next year. And so the next year I went, and it was always an interesting experience. However many times I went, I did it, and so many times it was when I would be there, it would be sort of, because, well, Doctor, you and I always made plans to spend time together because there were a lot of people who. You have a lot of friends there, and it was always good for us to have our one-on-one. So I'd always meet new and interesting people. This time, because we had all of us here together, I was mostly either spending time with all of you. I talked to some other people, but that was the biggest difference this time, which is sometimes kind of, I wouldn't call it quite an out-of-body experience, but it was just sort of, a lot of times I did feel like an observer. And no one of these experiences better than the other. They all sort of like feed into it. But ultimately, very glad to go back. Whatever people might want to say about Dayton, what was great about it was they're a wonderful experience to have there, and it's even better having those experiences with all of you and enjoying all of that together. And so that's those are my
Huzzah.
closing observations about the mile.
If
Yes,
I
yes,
could,
said a girl.
so a lot of people at work asked me, why are you going there, et cetera. And yesterday I said, well, it was a friend reunion, and
Yeah.
then everybody got it,
Real.
and I was like, that's,
Yeah.
it was a
That's
friend
nice.
reunion.
It's very nice. Yeah.
It sort of doesn't matter where the Beer Vengers come together and who's joining the Beer Vengers, but when the Beer Vengers come together, it is a kind of magical time. Whether that's in New
Yeah.
York or Fresno or Dayton,
Yeah.
Ohio, with our new strong Beer Vengers, Bulk and Cezanne Witch, it really does make something magical happen. I agree.
Yeah. Or in a virtual chat room, if you will.
Exactly.
Well, yes, which is all we've actually, the only time that all of us have been together before. So it was really exciting to have all of
Yeah.
us in a non-virtual, in a reality setting.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
was
That was really special.
I'm so thankful to all of you that you made it as much a priority as I have, so we could all be together for it. It was cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because technically we never had met the Dr. Beer Nerd.
This is true.
Yes, three
Yeah,
of you
and-
had not.
May I say that it was almost unlike meeting people. It was like being with people I knew, and
Agreed.
Yes.
that and getting the uniform. It's a great honor and just a treat. And dare I say, come back anytime.
Ah, perfect.
And while that's all sweet,
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
y'all are stuck with me. So I do have a bone to pick with our internet overlords. Now, last time on the Beer Venger podcast, right, we did discuss how we are very upset with our friends at Untapped for being rather judgy of both the Huckster and I for our beverage consuming habits. We're
You've
also
had 12 beers. Are you
know.
okay?
Yes.
You know. We also do have a bone to pick, however, with our main squeeze. Okay, we've been together with this platform for many moons. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
we thought we had a good thing going with them, and then they came and stabbed us in the back. It is our old friend Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Captain, what is up with Instagram?
Oh,
What is
yes.
going on?
So
Because-
here's the deal. It's like we don't do live Instagram things very often, which may
No.
be part of the problem. I don't know. But we every once in a while we've been at an event and we decide, well, we're going to broadcast to the world. One of our, I think, whatever most memorable ones was when 2/3 of us who are in the room right now were all together in Belgium, and we did a wonderful late night jet lagged, drunken, whatever combination was going on there. That well, I mean, we kind of most of us shared together because Belgian Babe
Yes.
watched it.
Or you're in Queens doing Sunday noontime chore errands, and you suddenly get this notification, and you go to the Instagram. You cannot help but watch. I mean, it was just magnetic. Yeah.
And so it was something that periodically we do, like, let's do an Instagram Live. Fine. So we're on the crawl, and I decided we do an Instagram Live, and I find out they have changed the rules because we are not popular enough. Because we only have 420 followers.
419 until the Huckster gathered another one at Warped Wing.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay,
that's right, yeah.
I forgot about that one. And then we got up to 421 because Little Fish friended us, and some unknown person dropped out. So we're back to 420 again. But yeah, so I suddenly realized that like we can't do Instagram Lives unless we have another 580 followers. So if anyone out there, I mean, honestly, anytime we did an Instagram Live, there were rarely more than 3 or 4 people watching us. So I don't know if that's going to help. But if anyone wants to help us garner that audience so we can have those capabilities back again. But yeah, but instead of doing an Instagram Live, well, actually, Huck did a couple of them. Because
No, we did a
he's
live
more
one,
popular.
yeah.
Huck's more popular than the Beer Avengers.
But it was like, who's got 1,000? I'm like, I do.
Yeah. But then we decided to just record one on my phone that I promise to all of you, we will put this up on Instagram Live, or not Instagram, on Instagram Reels. I think we're still allowed to do that. I think we're still popular enough to do that.
And when we did the live, we sang the Philosopher's Song from Monty
Yes.
Python.
Yeah.
You and the Bulk and myself managed to make our way through it. Rather
Traditional arrangement.
traditional,
Yeah.
and I thought we did a yeoman's job.
Yes.
There you go.
Now,
of getting
but here's
it
the
done.
thing: since Instagram has spurned us, the Belgian Babe decided to spurn the internet. In fact, I would say the Belgian Babe in this video that you will need to watch on our Instagram at the Beer Vengers.
We're going to put it on there on the reels. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll need to see it.
Yes.
The Belgian Babe decided that communication in the digital age no longer mattered.
Even though now she's using digits.
Exactly.
Oh,
It doesn't. That's you know what you're
These
being
are
very
digital
different kind of
digits.
digital,
That's
yeah.
right. The
And
kind of
so
analog.
For that
Analog
reason,
digits.
the number 4, with 4 fingers extended and a thumb bent in, has become very important in the Beer Vengerverse.
I'm so proud.
This
And
is how we'll
should-
greet each other.
And should you, for any reason, need to contact a member of the Beer Vengerverse, all you need to do is slowly hold up 4 fingers, perhaps with a slight wiggle, and you will garner perhaps the greatest joy that may have ever been garnered in the entirety of the Golden Mile.
I
So
knew
in the-
that puppetry training would come in handy one day.
What's I'm going to tell you what's crazy about this is we didn't realize this until the morning after.
Oh yeah.
The morning after, Belgian Babe was asked if I had any alts of some of the photos we put on at Toxic. And so I'm looking at it and I'm scrolling through it. It's like, hey, there's a 4-minute video. I wonder what this is. And it
It's
starts
gotta
out with
be
just
a morning after. Okay.
Well,
And
it
it
was
start-
the
starts out
captain
with just-
and Cider Girl.
Wait, Cider Girl had something
narrated
to
it.
say.
yes.
Well,
Yes, Cider Girl?
I remembered. I knew that we were doing it. I watched the whole thing,
I didn't totally forget. Yeah.
and I watched Lynn Belgian Babe do the hand gesture over and over again, and I was just laughing so hard. And finally, I said, "Do you need help? Are you signing help? Are those the letters for help?" So look for that when you watch the video.
Oh,
Yes. Now we have to put it on for sure.
yeah.
But yeah. Yes. Okay. So you remembered it. I remembered a little bit less, but I don't think any of us realized how funny it was until
No.
we watched it on Sunday morning. And then it's
It was a beautiful, beautiful performance.
Thank you.
absolutely.
I do try.
I think that
All
we
right,
could
do we,
develop
uh,
So
it.
do we
shout
have
out to
any-
the captain for completely throughout the Golden Mile monitoring,
photos.
not monitoring. What's the taking photos? He
Capturing.
had all the photos, capturing, documenting. That's our term.
Yeah, I didn't get
documented
everyone
every
every time, but
spot.
I got photos at each one. Yeah.
Yeah, every spot we did, the captain documented it with a somehow getting the front of the place, or at least like the logo of the place, along with a photo of people with beers. Whether
Well, in
it
the
was
film world,
all
they
of
call that
us,
an establishing shot.
establishing shot, along with, because at the early shots we had all of us in them, and some of
Yeah.
the later ones are like, who can we get?
Right.
Who's available?
I knew that would happen. Yeah.
But you nailed them all. Thanks, Cap.
Sure. All right. I guess that is the end of our coverage of the Golden Mile 2026. Thanks everyone for listening. Thank you, Doctor, for organizing the whole thing. Thanks all of you for coming across the country so we could all have this
Yes.
together.
Yes.
And thank all of you out there who are listening whenever this is, because once this is out there, it's out there. I know I've said this a few times. Any other final thoughts?
Beer Wonder.
Let's do it again. I'm sorry, that's not the Beer Wonder.
Honestly, seconded.
Okay.
I was going to
All
say,
right.
he usually says, how can you reach us?
Oh, that.
Oh, no, that was well established. Okay, now we're still
Yeah.
mad at Instagram, but you can still follow us there.
But still come
Yeah.
there because we need 580 more of
we're
you.
gonna
And
stick
also,
with
the
the
video,
metaverse.
you're
Please.
never going to understand why the number 4 is
Five.
exceptional unless you go to the Beer Vengers.
Yes, and
at
please
the
help
Beer
us change
Vengers.
that number so the Belgian babe has to learn more signs.
And so
Uh,
I am not in a fight
so
with
she-
Instagram anymore. You're
Yeah,
welcome.
yeah. We just 580 of you. That's all we need. Which is
The aliens, help me
Yeah.
out.
aliens. All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. This has been a blast. And Huck, play us out.
With the beer Vengers, beer Vengers, beer Vengers. Where the Avengers?
Fuck yeah.
Oh,
2, 0.
beer.